We live immersed in dynamics that teach us to compete, to win, and to measure success as if everything had a clear ending. From a young age, we learn to play games with defined rules, with a beginning, a development, and an ending in which someone wins and someone loses. These kinds of dynamics work well in certain contexts, such as sports or formal competitions, but they become problematic when applied to areas that, by their very nature, have no defined ending. Life, human relationships, leadership, and business are not races with a definitive finish line. They are ongoing processes that unfold over time and do not allow for a final winner. Understanding this difference is the starting point for grasping the concept of the infinite game. A finite game is characterized by known players, clear rules, and a specific objective: to win. In contrast, an infinite game has players who enter and leave, changing or interpretable rules, and no established endpoint. The goal is not to win, but to remain in the game for as long as possible. When these two types of games are confused and a finite mindset is applied to an infinite context, short-term decisions, defensive behaviors, and an obsession with immediate metrics emerge, ultimately weakening people and organizations. In business, this confusion is especially common. Many companies act as if the market were a finite game, focusing on beating the competition, maximizing short-term profits, or meeting quarterly targets. However, companies do not exist to win a particular year, but to remain relevant and useful over time. Leaders come and go, contexts change, and the game continues. From an infinite perspective, success is not measured solely by immediate financial results, but by the organization's ability to endure over time, adapt, care for its people, and continue contributing value to society. Adopting an infinite mindset implies a profound change in the way of leading. Leadership shifts from focusing on control and victory to emphasizing responsibility, care, and long-term vision. An infinite leader understands that their role is not to win, but to create the conditions for the organization to keep playing even when they are no longer there. This requires a strong culture based on shared values and a purpose that transcends specific individuals and products. The first pillar of this mindset is the just cause. A just cause is a vision of the future that does not yet exist, but is so appealing that it inspires people to commit and make sacrifices to move towards it. It is not a goal to be checked off a list, but a horizon that continually moves. For a cause to be truly just, it must stand for something, not against something else. It must be inclusive and allow others to join. It must aim to benefit others. It must be resilient in the face of technological, cultural, or political change, and it must be deeply idealistic. In an organization, the cause is greater than any specific product or service. When there is a clear, just cause, decisions are evaluated not only by their immediate profitability, but by their alignment with that vision of the future. This makes it possible to withstand short-term pressure and maintain a consistent direction even in difficult times. The just cause becomes a source of sustained motivation and a criterion for prioritizing actions and resources. The second pillar is building trusting teams. In an infinite game, no one can play alone. Trust cannot be demanded or imposed. It is built through the everyday behavior of leaders. A trusting team is one in which people feel safe to express doubts, admit mistakes, and ask for help without fear of retaliation. This safety enables authentic learning, innovation, and collaboration. When trust is lacking, mistakes are hidden, successes are simulated, and opportunities to improve are lost. Trust is closely linked to emotions. People do not stop feeling when they enter the workplace, and pretending to separate the personal from the professional weakens teams. Conscious leadership recognizes this reality and creates spaces where emotions can be channeled towards a common goal. Caring for people is not a soft gesture, but a necessary condition for long-term sustainability. The third pillar consists of studying worthy rivals. In an infinite game, competition is not about defeating the other, but about learning from those who do certain things better. A worthy rival is someone who reveals our own limitations and pushes us to improve. By observing others with curiosity rather than hostility, humility and agility are developed. This attitude reinforces the idea that there is room for multiple players and that collective progress strengthens the game as a whole. Becoming definitively the best makes no sense in a game that never ends. Each organization or person can aspire to excellence in different areas, and this constant exchange of learning benefits everyone. The infinite mindset transforms competition into a source of continuous growth. The fourth pillar is existential flexibility.
Playing for the long term requires the ability to adapt to profound changes, even when this involves abandoning past certainties. Existential flexibility is not reacting impulsively, but being willing to transform to remain aligned with the just cause. Change entails uncertainty and risk, but clinging to obsolete models is often even more dangerous. Infinite leaders explore new ideas, technologies, and opportunities with a broad perspective. They understand that organizations must constantly evolve to continue providing value. This attitude fosters a culture of innovation that anticipates change rather than merely reacting when it is already too late. The fifth pillar is the courage to lead. Remaining faithful to a just cause requires bravery, especially when external pressures push towards easier or more profitable short-term decisions. Leading with courage means prioritizing people, acting consistently with values, and taking risks in favor of a better future. This kind of leadership recognizes that profits are necessary to sustain the game, but they are not an end in themselves. When results become the sole measure of success, ethical deterioration emerges. Small concessions become normalized, transgressions accumulate, and self-deception takes hold. An infinite mindset protects people and preserves the integrity of the system, understanding that the health of the organization depends on the will, motivation, and commitment of those who make it up. Adopting the infinite game does not mean giving up short-term goals, but placing them within a broader framework. Immediate goals become milestones within a continuous journey, in service of a cause that transcends any single victory. This perspective frees us from the obsession with winning and allows us to build lasting legacies. Ultimately, playing the infinite game is a conscious choice. It involves deciding what kind of leader one wants to be, what impact one wishes to leave, and how success is understood. By centering leadership on caring for people, aligning with a just cause, and constantly adapting, more resilient, meaningful organizations and lives are created, capable of enduring over time.